They're now part of Iraq's landscape. Every day, American and Allied troops patrol the most dangerous places on Earth. Casualty rates have fallen, but now another grim milestone has been passed. 4,000 American dead in 5 years. This was how it began, a campaign of shock and awe designed for a swift victory. Of the 300,000 coalition troops involved, less than 200 were killed in the invasion. In May, President Bush was declaring mission accomplished.
Major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
But coalition forces were soon faced with a violent insurgency. In the past year, it has diminished, but the explosive devices used by the insurgents have become more sophisticated. Of course, it's the Iraqis who've borne by far the heaviest casualties. The milestone of 4,000 Iraqi dead was passed in the first weeks of the war. Estimates of the number of civilians killed run from the tens of thousands to more than 1 million. The commander of US forces in Iraq says the recent surge in troops has slowed the carnage. So too has a change in strategy by Sunni leaders. That means the war is no longer the top issue for American voters. Democratic presidential contenders suggest they want to bring troops home, but they haven't said how. Republicans are again bullish about the war. John McCain says, if needs be, he'd keep forces there for 100 years.
I will defend the decision to destroy Saddam Hussein's regime. But Americans know that the next president doesn't get to remake that decision. We're in Iraq, and our most vital security interests are clearly involved there.
Meanwhile, the steady flow of bodies back to American military bases continues. This is not a widely publicized process, and media access is limited.
1 in 10 US soldiers killed in Iraq is buried in Arlington National Cemetery. The funerals are rarely seen by the outside world. There is simply less coverage of the war here these days. In a recent survey, little more than a quarter of Americans knew how many of their troops had died in Iraq. Richard Lister, BBC News, at Arlington National Cemetery.